Yes, this he will do.
We are MATRAK ATTAKK, and my name is Roman, I'm the bass player.
I'm Christina, I sing.
Pi, drums.
And Thomas, guitar, bass before. Or something else. Or
Yeah, but like each question one reads and give it.
Yeah, j'ai pas tout lu, mais...
Why we choose to come to Brazil? Because first thing, Bolsonaro is gone, so we don't feel like paying anything to Bolsonaro. We didn't want to come before because of this. And also Brazilian bands are like the bands that came mostly to Europe. And we met more from South America. And most European bands went to tour Brazil. So we are like, okay, when we go to South America, for sure we have to go to Brazil. And we were invited a lot of times from people, fanzines and bands that interviewed us or bands that played. And we say, okay, let's start a tour in this stripe of South America, and let's start and end with Brazil. And of course we wanted to see some beautiful places that we didn't see a lot because we had the show every day, but we could swim in Rio, Florianopolis, in Rio Grande, what is already a lot for us. And yeah, we enjoyed meeting the local punks and DIY scene here that we knew already that was good. So it was like the safe thing. You go there and you know what you meet. Anyone want to talk more?
yeah, I can add that thing, like Christina said, we knew before like some Brazilian band and some European band who make some connection in between the two different places. And for example, one of my housemates went to tour in Brazil some years ago, and the name was Chicken Call, and he told me a lot of times that he had really good memories about touring in Brazil, so it was like nice to do it. And we can switch to second question.
Philippines, what's the main difference between Philippines and South America?
Okay, more vegan food in Philippines.
But
But a lot of same plants actually, and same flowers, really not so different nature. Fruit can be smaller or bigger, but a lot of similarities. And of course pizza. And of course the way of transportation are really different. Thank you so much. And thanks. And we had like, of course, different places and organization of concerts. Like in Philippines, everything was organized by punk collectives that do food not bombs. And here, I know there is food not bombs as well as a collective, people cooking for people, but we never meet a food not bomb organization. Actually, Brazil is more similar to Europe than the other South American countries where we went on this tour.
In Philippines, people don't know because there's not a lot of band going there, but the scene is huge.
Yes.
Every time you play with 10 bands, stuff like this, there's a lot of people, young people, the scene is quite young.
Like 15, 19, like the main people at the gig.
But yes, it was a band well received everywhere. Yes, we were received really good everywhere.
Yeah. And we had people like bringing us in each island, not all the islands, but a lot of them, and bringing us, coming with us each time with the bus or the jeepney, that is the local transportation thing, and a little scooter, like one guy driving a moto, and 6 people somewhere going there. This is really different. What is similar, yeah, that people are more warm than in Europe. This is really similar.
What's the world impact of the band?
Tour in the world, still a little part of the world we saw.
What kind of knowledge?
What kind of what?
Knowledge is experimental to you so far. That it's sad to come back to Europe.
Yeah, I want to say the same.
Because we love it there, but the attitude of the people is much more like
Cold?
cold and privileged.
And without knowing that they are privileged most of the time, and
Yes.
traveling to other place where I think maybe the economy is less easy than in Europe, and you see that there is a lot of collectives that's still doing even more than in Europe, and so they like
Not only the economy, but just how people live and not the society.
One good example is Sweden is one of the most rich countries, but the punk there keep on telling you, we are poor,
Yes.
you know, and you're like, come on, go in Brazil, go in Chile, go in Philippines, you will see what it's to. So yeah, it's a bit sad to come back every time, even if we like it, but it changed the view you have of life in general and punks and politics.
And also how much people come to talk to you just to meet you and not just to say, here is the backstage, here you put your table, here put the distro, there you sleep, bye. Okay, this is Europe mostly. And this is for me. Well, Meloni, it's just the effect of the cause that our fake left party, because I know here is really polarized with the left and the right, but us, we have like all the gray zones in between in Italy. And our left, so-called left, is actually really rich bankers, people saying they are left just because they don't want to be the right, they need to be the opposition. And they were acting like right-wing parties already, and they didn't care about poor people already. So when Meloni came, everything got worse, but it was already shit in Italy. So it's, with her, you see that it's like stupid people vote for her because she gave the fault to the immigrants. So it's the really fascist, racist side, like let's give the fault to the immigrants if Italy is going down. And while everybody knows, even right-wing people know that it's like cause and effect of all the other governments that make Italy or any other country go down. But she's such a smart woman, and she knows how to talk to poor people, and she knows how to talk to other politicians, and this is the dangerous thing, because she's not stupid like, I don't know, Berlusconi before, you know? Like, you see it's just a guy after money and other things, but this one is a real politician, and she can play with every kind of class. And this is like the most dangerous thing we could ever see. But it's not her the most dangerous, because in the end she's just another North American follower, like big bank family friend. The most dangerous is the alliance to her, that is some real fascist that already was so close to having a lot of power. And these real fascists, they want to close all the autonomous spaces. They want just to sell the land to a multinational corporation, what is happening here as well. So I think all the world is going to this direction, who in a way, who in another way, but I think it's really close to a lot of other countries.
about the main influences. I think we can have list of lot of bands, and we can as well like have each of us have a different list. But I think mostly, like, to make it general, it's like we like artists, punk artists that are not forget about the political message that was supposed to be into the punk. And so for me, I really like the anarcho-punk band from the 80s in UK, and also like from lot of other lot of Polish bands from the 90s. Personally, I like a bit more also some grindcore than the others, but too I like when the grindcore stay politically oriented. I don't know if...
Wait, I want to add something. What artist can I influence to the music, like musically, is like we have all different influence, and in other arts, but depend. I like provocation. But it has to be political provocation and not like some apolitical provocation. This I don't like. So I like all the shock rock stuff of the 80s. I like it a lot. And in paintings also I like provocation. I like not following the standard. I would prefer a Pollock to an Impressionist or all these things. And the influence to the music, I think you should, because you make most music.
I would say crust-punk from the 90s and anarcho-punk. I mean, maybe you don't really hear it in the music, but we take it and we make our own thing out of it. But it's mostly about how we feel the link, as he said, between politics and music that is more important than the music we play. I think that's all.
Still, there is a lot of Eurocrust.
Yeah, crust-punk from the 90s. Roman, if you have some other...
Do you often see artists from different fields joining forces in the name of a specific cause? No. I see that now everything is so divided and specialized, and it's a universitary trend to find specialization and not any more realistic view of things. And this is also, of course, you can see it even in the fights, like anarchist fights. You can see it in the night. Forces that join for having, 2 days of occupation of some space, and each artist come to do serigraphy or food, or bands come to play. But this is just one night. It is never like we saw it in the 70s, like in Europe, something really united against fascism. And like you have cinema, in the cinema they're making films that are, you can see like alternative movies that are totally anarchist based, but who will see these movies is just a couple of anarchists, and it will never go to mainstream because they don't want. But they will also not so much being projected, and when there is a projection like of some nice movie, not a lot of people go, because there's the people that want to see the gigs, there's the people who want to see the exposition, the art exposition, and the people that want to see the movie. It's never all together. This is a problem, I think, of nowadays.
What did we know, depend if it's especially about the DIY musical scene, or if it's about as well more globally the history of Brazil?
I think in general about Brazil, and maybe how people talk about Brazil outside of Brazil. I mean, how do they view Brazil outside of Brazil, and what did you know about the country itself?
Yeah, I know that the story about the dictator, what happened during the middle of the 20th century, and I think in Europe for there was a big hope 20 years ago when Lula got elected, especially in France there was a lot of hope about how there is a new left tendencies in all South America, but especially in Brazil. And then most of the time when there is some people having big hopes about some elected part, then the hope go down after just one election, and we knew the situation that was before with Bolsonaro, and so that now with Lula is a bit left. He seems to be a bit less left-oriented than at the first election. And
yeah, his discourse may sound leftist, but he has relations with all the political spectrum, so it's kind of fucked up in a way.
Yeah, but it's from the outside, it was like when America, it was against Bush, punks were vote carry and stuff like this, and so, Lula, it's so great, because it's better than Bolsonaro, so people don't want to see the negative of Lula politics, because it's better than Bolsonaro.
During the elections, we had a joke between our friends that when we're together we can talk shit about Lula, but when we're talking to conservatives, it's no, this is the best ever. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And stereotypical, still the same about Brazil football, Carnival of Rio, favelas, samba. It's always the same. Since 50 years.
It's a classic.
It's always the same. And
Caipirinha, and Sepultura.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one.
And destroying the Amazon to make soy fields.
Yeah.
This one
But
is
it's
maybe
true,
not a
it's not a
stereotype.
cliché. It's
No,
true.
but it's what we hear in Europe about Brazil in general.
Yes.
You know, it's
I
just.
don't hear that kind of stuff.
No? What do you hear here?
About Brazil.
Football.
Like
didn't
Monsanto
have
that were
stereotypes
destroying a lot of
Okay.
with the
Just
soy culture,
because,
the MGO stuff, and we hear this a lot 10 years ago. Like it was destroying Brazil, and they were killing people that didn't want to sell their properties to make all the GMO stuff. Still happens.
Yeah. But so the newer generation didn't have any stereotype of Brazil. This is the...
For my part, I didn't have stereotype in Brazil. Just, I don't know, picture and my imagination of what the country looks like, but I didn't have stereotype
No, but it's not
before.
you. What you hear about around from the
Yeah,
other people.
man, I don't hear a lot of people when I don't know, no. Maybe, like, yes, football, but that's all. Oh, yeah, football or in sport in general. Like, I don't know, in skateboard, like Brazilian people are
Be good with skate.
to be good to skate, so
We have a lot of skaters out there.
Okay, the hardest aspect of following DIY philosophy.
Who wants to go?
Money.
And to accept to have a lack of to live with not a big amount of money, but I think it's not really hard because until when you know how to live with it, like you see that there is like more important aspect in the life than being really rich and economically speaking, and there is like other things like you can maybe sometimes it's more hard to do a thing. But then there is more. You do it with more people, and then you manage to do some things with a collective and not alone. So I think it's at the end it's more like you earn more in
But because
values. And
some people live in some countries where this is possible, and this is why people can do it. I mean, in Italy they have these old 35-year-old squats called social centers, so kind of legalized. Of course, if fascism really come out, they will be out really soon. But I know in some countries they don't have this, so this is even more difficult to be organized and collectively organize things.
if you don't have like a place to do it, you have to. If you don't have like collective place, you have to make compromise to go to a not DIY or alternative space. And
Yeah, it's what they call the third place, you know, it's not your job, it's not your house, it's another place you go to socialize with people, and I think the goal of neoliberalism is to get rid of these places so people cannot get together, stay in their houses, stay in their jobs. And
Life is becoming much more difficult everywhere with all the politics, because it's in the whole world that politics are getting more and more capitalist and conservative. It's disappearing. Less and less people try to do DIY political stuff because it's too difficult and they have to spend time working, paying their rent. It's disappearing. Even in the punk scene, there is less and less punk bands in Europe that are DIY, really. So it's a bit sad to see, but we understand that it's getting really difficult for most of the people.
And then it's easy to get burned out with this, and a collective is not like that. Anarchy and solidarity is inside human beings. So after a while you will have collective with somebody who wanted to be the boss. You will have somebody that cannot stand any kind of stress anymore. People change mood, people change lives, and people need new people. And if you don't have change of people, the collective is going to starve. They have no new energy coming, and they make still shows, for example, or they make still nice things, but these things are going to be done just with the automatism of doing them. And this is after COVID, a new collective came, others were gone. But I think there is less will of doing things because people understood. Actually, I don't care about DIY scene anymore. Actually, I want to do other stuff. Actually, I want to watch Netflix all night. And I understand, I don't have Netflix, but I saw some new movies that are so cool. But people cannot divide time anymore. They are just into easy, like, let's not go to the shop, let's order from fucking Amazon. Because they have it cheaper, so everybody wants it easier. And also for DIY show, it's easier to ask a bar to give no money up to the band and just give them cold pasta and that's it, you know. Even it's like laziness because in the end, who needs DIY things so often as they were before? Not everybody care anymore. We need to travel to see this every day, otherwise we will not have this every day. Okay. The barrier, is it about if you make lyrics in other languages that the English don't read it or vice versa?
Or maybe if you speak in
I
Italian.
think it's the way I see it. I don't know if you agree, but I think the English-speaking people are less willing to try to understand another language. Maybe I don't know. Remember the Oscars in 2019 when Parasite won? It's a Korean film, and the directors had the same issue. He said something about the barrier of subtitles, you know, because you're not willing to hear to another language. You just accept it if it's translated into English. I think it's more or less something around these terms.
Yeah, but that's why I make also in English. But there is even something in Dutch. There is something with a bit of French, but the worst actually are the non-English speakers because like Italian, they don't care about reading lyrics in English, not all, but a lot of people. French, same. And there is people that speak Italian but don't want to read the lyrics in Italian anyway. I don't think it's about the language, it's about people that don't care to read the lyrics. So I say, anyway, they don't care. I write how I want it to sound because it's some difference in sound mostly. Actually, I was not doing it, but when he joined the band, he say, why you don't write in Italian? I'm like, nobody ever asked me. When I was in Italy, I was not writing in Italian, just English, because I think I touch more people, not only English people, but also, I don't know, Czech Republic people that want to read in English because they speak more English than Italian. And the thing is that before people were reading lyrics more, and now it's less and less that are interested. So I'm like, why I should spend my time translating? I speak 4 languages. Imagine if I have to translate in 4 and it will be not enough because I don't speak Spanish, I don't speak Portuguese. The booklet of the vinyl should be really too big because my lyrics are also long. So I'm like, okay, who's really interested will ask me what is this about or just put it on Google Translate because the lyrics are on Bandcamp anyway. But I understand it's like lack of interest in lyrics worldwide. But if, I don't know, you see an anarcho-feminist band, you recognize some words and you are interested in this, then you read it. But if it's some crass dude that just want to read about war, they will not read my lyrics, I'm just sure about it. So I don't care about these guys, you know, it's that they read the lyrics of Doom and they are happy about it. But I want target just who can be interested, and of course the cover and the ethics and the description on stupid Facebook is something that already choose a target. Lose a lot of other punks or so-called punks, but it's just direct to who wants to read these lyrics. That's right.
But there's still a language barrier because most of the band from every country they choose to sing in English because they're like more people will understand what we mean and since 80 years it's the same. You feel like if you write in your own language your lyrics will sound stupid because it may be too simple, but if you read English bands their lyrics are ridiculous if you translate in your own language. But that's what started like the pop and the rock band. Like if you translate you say this in your own language, you will laugh, you will be like it's ridiculous, but you can do it in English because It's a universal one.
School.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Oh.
And I think countries that had colonies still now believe that their language is really important. And in France, we don't learn a lot of other language at school. Even if we learn, we don't care. A lot of French just now start to speak English. Before, all French people, they were just speaking French. So if there was foreign bands touring or if they were going in other countries, they just speak French. Because it's this country that
Feel more important than the other.
our language has to be strong in the world. You know, it's part of our how you say this
lot
our
of French,
place in the world. You know, it's
and I think like it's a bit like this in Spain as well, and in Italy. Like for example, I think it's a free country in Europe where there is less people speaking other language than.
Yeah, but of course it's also instruction because good Swedish, they play all good instruments since they are little and they speak all English.
Yeah, the
Of
educational
course,
system is maybe like more.
it's rich
more
country. I mean, they have a great educational system and they have the money to buy them guitars instead of stupid little flutes like in Spain, France, and Italy. So it's different. They invest more in culture. I mean, it's good, but it's different. Europe is small. It's like as big as Brazil, but it's so different because it's the spreading is not the same. Europe is small, so for us, 100 kilometers, everything can change.
what we love and what we hate.
Anarchy, party, and eat, and I don't like cops, border, and fascists.
I knew that you would say something like this.
Yeah, I don't know how the world is becoming. It's a bit sad to see it and to don't be able to do anything because it's maybe I'm pessimist, but I think it's too late for everything. We see now, we saw all the climate change that you had, especially in Rio, you had this flood 2 weeks ago, you had 60 degrees 3 weeks ago. In Ascension, the weather was terrible and there is fire everywhere to make soy fields.
In Chile, there was like big fire.
In Chile, they had fire some months ago. In Europe, it's the same, it's getting crazy. So yeah,
the government pretend to take care, but they didn't. Just like fake posture. And
I think I hate seeing this coming, and seeing that we are useless. But I love touring what we do, seeing not the world, but different continents and meeting people that have the same ideas as us. So we feel less lonely.
I have no clue.
Me too.
Because if it's, can I say it related to here, for example, like relating to Brazil and make it, because I cannot say it. So I love how kind and warm are the people and how they want to meet bands, and I love how it looks like they are disorganized, but everything works in the end. It's chaotic, but less stress than us. And I loved how we tried to book this tour, and everybody was writing us, "Do you want to play also here?" Just friendly again. But I really loved it how people from other cities, not only Brazil but all South America part.
From what we know.
Yeah, what we know about South America, that they write us, "Can you play also in this city? Do you have a free day for coming to play in this city?" I mean, in Europe they would never do this. If you are a big band, of course, but they would never do this for a DIY band. And things that I hate is that, the mosquito, for sure, it's terrible because you have this dengue and I'm terrorized of getting this. And I never had spray until now. And what I hate, I don't really hate. I don't hate, fuck.
also
I
now,
don't hate.
Bolsonaro. I hate Bolsonaro, but it's not really important now anymore, right?
His family still.
We hope.
Yeah, no.
He can come back in.
His family
He has
still
a
have
whole
some.
family.
Got elected in some different cities and.
And I don't like the lot of police around. It's a lot, but it's still better than we saw in Chile.
Paraguay was the worst with the
Paraguay,
presence
yeah.
of police and
everywhere,
military in the
everywhere,
streets.
yes. But yeah, this is just by it's too wide these questions for me. I can just go through this.
Roman, last.
I will say like it's really sad to see the world falling apart because of human. But I don't think that it's too late. Just it's sad that the government doesn't make anything about what's going on. And I like I don't know what I like.
Campañadas.
Nature and touring with MATRAK ATTAKK.
Falar português.
Something we would like to, but
I like Portuguese. Very much.
It's a creative language.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
And
I prefer
how it
Portugal,
sounds.
but
Portugal is the best.
as I speak a bit of Spanish, it's a bit more easier for me. But.
And to dance.
To dance, yes.
Since this tour, I like to dance.
Since this tour.
And to go in the sea, in the ocean,
If I can dance, it's not my revolution.
ride in the wave.
Muito
Goodbye.
obrigado and thanks for the interview.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And we love you.
We love you. That's the good.
Plastic,